Okay, so good afternoon to one and all. Now today we will start our unit number 3. So the unit number 3 is basically a wave generator. So basically in this unit we will see different types of circuits whose output will be either sinusoidal wave or square wave, right? So wave is nothing but a repetitive, it is repeating in nature. So when I say sine wave, so sine is a periodic wave of 2 pi, right? Similarly, triangular wave can be also there, but it is not in our syllabus. Square wave, triangular wave, and sinusoidal wave. These are most often used waves in the electronic circuits. So in unit number 3, we will discuss this unit basically in two sections. So first section is dedicated to the transistorized oscillators. So basically in these circuits, transistors will be used. Okay. Transistors we have already studied in unit number 1. The basics of transistor we have seen in unit number 1. So we are now familiar with the transistor, and now oscillators we will see. So oscillator is nothing but any electronic device which is giving you the oscillations at the output. Okay, so oscillations can be sine wave, or it can be square wave, or it can be triangular wave, right? If you are getting oscillations as sine oscillations, sinusoidal oscillations, then that particular oscillators will be called as sinusoidal oscillators. If you are getting rectangular waveform at the output, then it is called as rectangular oscillator. Okay, like that. So in section 1, we will study these three main topics are there. The first one is Barkhausen criteria. So there was one scientist named Barkhausen, and he had given one criteria, and he had told that in order to for any circuit or for any electronic circuit, in order to behave as an oscillator, it has to satisfy this particular criteria. Okay, so one criteria is given by the Barkhausen, and if circuit satisfies that particular criteria, then and then only it will behave as an oscillator. Okay, so this is the first topic we will see today, Barkhausen criteria. Then there is a RC phase shift oscillator is also there. So one basically circuit we will study. This is RC phase shift oscillator and a transistor crystal oscillator. So these three topics are coming under the transistorized oscillators. All right. Then in section 2, the timer IC555 has been introduced in our syllabus. Yes, the screen is it visible screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in section 2, timer IC555. This is one IC555 is there. So it is also called as timer IC. So we will study about the timer IC555. We will study its block diagram and its working. Then astable and monostable multivibrator. These are two very important applications of IC555. So we will start with our today's discussion with transistorized oscillator. So since this complete unit is nothing but a wave generator, so wave generators are nothing but it is also called as oscillators, or rather oscillators are also called as wave generators, one and the same. Okay. So what is oscillator then? So oscillator is an electronic circuit which is used to generate the output signal with constant amplitude and constant desired frequency. It is called as oscillator. So this is very important definition and you must remember it. Okay, so oscillator is basically any electronic circuit which gives you the output signal with constant amplitude, okay, and constant desired frequency as well. Now, the word constant amplitude is also called as sustained oscillations. Sustain. So what do you mean by sustained oscillation? I will be using this term very often. Sustained, the spelling of sustained is SUSTAINED, sustained oscillation. So what do you mean by actually sustained oscillations is, suppose now you know that oscillator will produce the oscillations. So oscillations will be can be like this. So if you observe the amplitude of this wave, right? So this peak amplitude, it is constant, right? It is in straight. So this type of wave which is having constant amplitude. So its amplitude is nothing but this is constant, right? You can observe here the peaks are at constant level. So these oscillations we required, and these oscillations are called as oscillations with constant amplitude and constant frequency. In other words, it is also called as sustained oscillations. Okay. Now another oscillations are there. There are again different oscillations. Suppose these are called as damped oscillation. So what in this type of oscillations, these are also oscillations only, but you can observe that amplitude is constantly decreasing. Okay. So these are called as damped oscillations. Means after a while the amplitude will be zero. So you don't want this type of oscillations at the output. So this is the, whenever we talk about the sustained oscillation, it means like this. Means you want oscillations with the constant amplitude, and it should not be damped, DAMPD, damped oscillations. We don't want this. Again, there is one another type of oscillations that we don't want. I'll just draw it for you. This is underdamped actually. What I have drawn, that was underdamped, and now there is another oscillations are there which is starting from 0, and its amplitude will vary with respect to time. Okay, so its amplitude will be vary, and at t equals to infinity its amplitude will be infinite. So we also don't want this type of oscillation. All right. So you must understand the difference between damped oscillations. It is called as overdamped, and earlier it was underdamped. But we want undamped oscillations, that is the oscillations whose amplitude is constant, whose amplitude is neither increasing nor decreasing. So at the output of oscillator, always remember throughout this unit that whenever I am talking about oscillator, so oscillator, the output of oscillator will be always either sine wave or rectangular wave or triangular wave. Now in this case, it will be sine wave. Alright, so you can remember like that. Now sine oscillators are also called as waveform generator, right? Which incorporates both active and passive elements. So basically oscillator consists of active elements as well as passive elements. So what do you mean by active elements? Active elements are nothing but elements with internal gain, or those elements, the elements which are having its own gain. Do you know any kind of active element? Have we discussed so far any kind of active element जिसको अपना खुद का गेन होता है? Anyone? देखा है क्या ऐसा कोई सर्किट वगैरह अब तक? Have we discussed any circuit like this? A circuit which is having its own gain. So we have already seen the working of transistor as an amplifier. Okay, so the amplifier will have its own gain. So amplifier circuit is nothing but an active element. ओके, सो ओपैम जो हो गया आपका, ओपैम और ट्रांजिस्टर, these are nothing but active elements, right? And what do you mean by passive elements? Passive elements means the elements which are not having any gain. Okay, all right. So passive element, best example of passive elements are resistor, capacitor, and inductor. So these are passive elements, and active elements are nothing but transistor or op-amp. So you can remember like this. And then third point is very important. Now in first point we have stated that an electronic circuit which is used to generate. Now what do you mean by generate? Now remember oscillator, just look this particular diagram. If you observe this diagram, so there are basically two diagrams side by side. So first one is nothing but a block diagram of your amplifier, and the second one is a block diagram of oscillator. Now what is the difference you are observing in these two diagrams? Anyone? Just tell me the difference.
सर ऑसिलेटर मध्ये इनपुट सिग्नल नाही आहे.
Right. Very good. There is no input signal in case of oscillator. Right. So the basic principle, basic operation of your amplifier was like this. Uh, in amplifier block diagram, there was some circuit. Okay. For example, voltage divider biasing. Right. Voltage divider biasing का जो circuit है, it will act as an amplifier. Now, what was the input to your amplifier? Input to your amplifier was a weak sine signal, weak sinusoidal signal. Pardon my drawing here, okay? And then DC power input is applied. Which DC power input you are applied? That is VCC, right? So by utilizing this DC power, what amplifier have done actually? Amplifier amplifies the weak input, and at the output you will get the amplified wave like this. So this is the working of your amplifier. Okay, input signal was sine wave, which is having very small amplitude. It is nothing but called as weak signal. But with the help of this DC voltage, the amplifier utilizes this DC voltage and it amplifies this weak signal to give you amplified version of your input signal. This is the basically working of amplifier. Now what is the working of oscillator? So if you observe in oscillator, there is no actually any input is given. There is no input given. So no sine wave is given here. But DC output power is same. So what should be the output of oscillator? I have already told you that throughout the unit you should remember that output signal or output of oscillator will be any kind of wave. It can be sinusoidal. Generally, a sinusoidal oscillator will give you sinusoidal wave. So your output of the oscillator will be like this. So actually without any input signal, that means without any weak signal जो आपने एम्पलीफायर में दिया था, without any signal, you are getting a constant amplitude and constant frequency signal. So without any application of input signal, you are getting sustained oscillations at the output. So this is the function of oscillator. Now you can say that's a यहाँ पे सिग्नल तो है ही नहीं, तो ये कैसे करेगा? सो दैट्स वाई वी हैव यूज्ड दिस टर्म दैट circuit which is used to generate. So this oscillator is basically generating sinusoidal oscillations without any input, right? But we know that energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. So ये generate कैसे कर पाएगा? So in order to generate, it must require some power source. So that power source is nothing but this DC power unit. Okay, so what the third point is very important. So actual में oscillator क्या है? So oscillator is nothing but a DC to AC converter, or rather, this third point is very important, that a primary function of oscillator is to convert DC power into a periodic signal or AC signal. Means by using this DC power, your oscillator is giving you output which are nothing but the sine wave or sustained oscillations. Okay, so these 3 points are very important and you must remember throughout this course. First point is nothing but what is oscillator. So you can say that oscillators are the electronic device which is used to generate output signal with constant amplitude and constant desired frequency. It is nothing but a sustained oscillations. So it is called as oscillator. Oscillator is also called as waveform generator. Why? Because at the output of oscillator you are getting any kind of wave only. Either it can be sinusoidal or rectangular or square wave or triangular wave. Okay. So again, oscillator will have active elements as well as passive elements. Active elements are nothing but transistor and op-amp, and passive elements are nothing but resistor, capacitor, inductor, etc. The primary function of an oscillator is to convert DC power into a periodic signal. What do you mean by periodic signal? Sine wave is nothing but periodic signal. So oscillator converts DC power into, and it gives you AC signals, that is sinusoidal signal at the output. So what are the differences between amplitude and oscillator if anyone asks you? So you can state like this: in amplifier the input signal is present, but in oscillator the input signal is absent. Now second difference is very important that we have seen while discussing non-inverting amplifier or inverting amplifier or summing amplifier, right? In last unit we have seen all these applications of op-amp. So while discussing that particular topic, I have told you that amplifiers are nothing but negative feedback circuits. Amplifier requires negative feedback, whereas oscillators are positive feedback circuit. This is the second and most important difference between amplifier and oscillators. Amplifiers have negative feedback, whereas oscillators have positive feedback. So these two key differences you should know. If someone asks you what is the difference between amplifier and oscillator, so what you will say, the first difference is, in case of amplifier input signal is present, but in case of oscillators it is not present. Whereas second difference is, the amplifier has negative feedback, the oscillator has positive feedback. All right, so this is the importance of this particular slide. Now we will proceed. So there are a few points which we have already discussed. Then I will just read out for you. So an oscillator does not require any external input signal. Right? We have already understood that oscillator input signal is not present. So hence it is also mentioning the same. An oscillator does not require any external input signal to produce sinusoidal or other repetitive waveforms. So other repetitive waveforms are nothing but waveforms which are not sinusoidal. That means triangular waveform. Triangular waveform will look like this. Okay. Then there is square wave. So these are nothing but a different waveforms. So in general, these three waveforms are used: square, triangular, and sinusoidal. Okay. So an oscillator does not require any external input to produce sinusoidal or other repetitive waveforms of desired magnitude and frequency at the output. Right? Means without any input, it is giving you the oscillations at the output. That is the inference that can be drawn from the statement 1. Then in case of amplifiers, now point number 2 is talking about the amplifiers. So in case of amplifiers, the energy conversion starts as long as input signal is present in the input. That is, amplifier produces an output signal whose frequency or waveform is similar to the input signal, but the magnitude or power level is generally high. We have seen that this is the working of your amplifier. The output of amplifier will be only amplified version of your input. The frequency will not change. The frequency will remain same. Input frequency and output signal frequency for the amplifier will be the same. Only amplitude will vary. And also in case of amplifiers, input signals are very important, because अगर आप input ही नहीं दोगे तो amplifier amplify क्या करेगा, right? So the output signal will be absent if there is no input signal, right? So this is for the amplifier. If no input is given to the amplifier, then output signal will be also 0 in case of amplifier. But in contrast, to start or maintain the conversion process of an oscillator does not require any input signal. As long as DC power is nothing but VCC. As long as DC power is connected to the oscillator circuit, it keeps on producing an output signal with frequency decided by the components. So the frequency of this particular waveform, either sine wave or square wave or triangular wave, the frequency, what do you mean by frequency? Frequency is nothing but a number of cycles completed in 1 second. I hope you must all know what do you mean by frequency. So the frequency, every cyclic wave will have frequency, and that frequency will, the value of that particular frequency is decided by the components used in your circuit. What is the unit of frequency?
Hertz.
Right, hertz. Hertz is the unit of frequency. All right. Now moving further, we are just understanding the concept of zero input signal. So until the discussion so far, we have understood that oscillator is electronic circuit which will give you oscillations at the output without any input signal, but it will require DC power. Okay. Now this is the block diagram of your, you can read here that these are the basic building blocks of, or block diagram of, positive feedback amplifier. It is nothing but an oscillator. I have already told you oscillator is nothing but positive feedback amplifier. Okay, so these are the blocks involved in oscillator circuit. Now you can observe here that oscillator circuit has nothing but amplifier. Amplifier is also part of your oscillator, and there is one feedback network is given. So this is a feedback network. This amplifier, the gain of amplifier is A, right? And beta, what is beta? Beta is nothing but the fraction of the feedback. It is feedback fraction. So you can observe here, this point is nothing but some portion of your output is have been fed back to the input. You can observe here, right? This is plus sign. So some portion of output by using feedback network is given back to the input. So since this is a positive feedback, this fraction is positive, it is called as positive feedback. अगर negative होता तो it will be called as negative feedback. Okay, so this block diagram you should know, and you should remember that whenever we will see after a while, maybe next session, different circuits used as an oscillator. So in oscillator we will always discuss two parts in our circuit. So first part will be amplifier circuit and second part will be feedback circuit. So in any oscillator these two sections will be there. Amplifier section will be there as well as feedback network section will be there also. So A is nothing but a gain of amplifier and beta is nothing but the feedback fraction. Alright, feedback fraction. So generally beta will be less than 1 only. It will be something around point something ही रहता है. Because what? Why? Because you are giving some amount of output voltage to the input. So that's why this will the value of beta. It is nothing but actually attenuation. That means this due to this feedback network, the output voltage is actually attenuating. Attenuating means कम होता है. All right. So what is the takeaway from this slide is, in any oscillator circuit there will be one amplifier section and one feedback network will be there. Now after deriving the formula for the gain for this particular block diagram, at the output, here you can observe that output voltage here is nothing but V out, that is VO, and input signal is nothing but Vs. Okay, so what will be the gain of this block diagram? So gain is nothing but V out divided by Vs, and after following certain procedures and some mathematical manipulation, at final this derivation you will get. So we will just skip this discussion about the derivation since it is not mentioned in your syllabus. But after a point, after some mathematical calculation, at the end you will end up with this particular formula, that is V out divided by Vs is equals to A divided by 1 minus A beta. Now you have to just observe these fractions, these expressions, and then we have stated that for oscillator, what is the input signal? For oscillator, actually what we have seen so far, input signal is equals to 0. There was no input signal, right? So when this Vs becomes 0, this fraction will become infinite. That means gain of this particular block diagram will become infinite. That means A divided by 1 minus A beta will also become infinite. Infinite is nothing but 1 divided by, or anything divided by 0 is nothing but infinite. Right? What I am telling you from the discussion until we have done in the two slides, what we have understood that oscillator does not require any input signal. So that's why I have make Vs equals to 0. Why? Because Vs was my input signal. So as soon as I have inserted Vs equals to 0 in this particular expression, the value of A divided by 1 minus A beta also becomes infinite. So what does this particular expression tells you? It tells you that 1 minus A beta, 1 minus A beta, what will be the value of 1 minus A beta? Since this fraction is equals to infinity, the denominator must be 0. Right? This fraction is equals to this fraction. Alright, you understood this. V upon Vs equals to A upon 1 minus A beta. Now this fraction is infinite. So that means this fraction will be also infinite. And what do you mean by this fraction is also infinite? That means the denominator part will be equal to 0. So I have just written the same. The denominator part 1 minus a beta equals to 0. Now what it means that a beta, what will be the value of a beta? A into beta equal to 1. So why we have done this is actually the thing you should remember, that when in our circuit, when this particular condition is satisfied, which condition? That a beta equal to 1. We will see after maybe next lecture that when in your circuit a beta, when the value of a beta is also called as loop gain. Why? Because you can observe here that this, it is forming one loop is formed here due to this feedback. And what is the gain of this loop? The gain of this loop is nothing but gain of amplifier A multiplied by gain of or feedback fraction. You cannot call it actually gain, because since its gain is always less than 0 or less than 1, so it is not basically a gain. But let's, for the understanding, we will call it as a loop gain of this complete loop is nothing but a into beta. Okay, so when you are satisfying this particular condition in your circuit, loop gain, when loop gain equals to 1, that is a beta when it equals to 1, then what is actually happening? Now we are going reverse, right? When the value of a beta equals to 1, then what will happen to this particular fraction? A divided by 1 minus, now the value of a beta, that is loop gain, is 1. So a divided by 1 minus 1 will be 0. So a divided by 0 will be infinite. That means VO divided by Vs also infinite. That means Vs equals to 0. What we have done, we have just analyzed this particular case. What happens when in your circuit A into beta becomes equals to 1, then your circuit actually does not require any kind of input, right? From the slide number 1 we have stated that oscillator will not have any input. उसका एक्चुअल में रीजन क्या है? This, because at this particular condition, that means when your loop gain, when it becomes 1, what happens? Your circuit will have infinite gain. Infinite gain मतलब without any input, without any external input, your output, you will get the output in the form of oscillations, right? So this is the concept behind why oscillator gives you output without any input, right? So if you do not if you are confused in this particular slide, then just I will give you some takeaway points, then you should remember. So this is the derivation for this particular block diagram. This block diagram is nothing but a block diagram of oscillator. Oscillator will consist of an amplifier and feedback network. The gain of amplifier is A and the attenuation given by the feedback network is beta, right? The complete, this is one loop is forming here. Just remember this, one loop is formed here, and the gain of that loop is called as loop gain. So loop gain is A into beta. Three parameters you should remember. A is the gain of your amplifier, beta is attenuation provided by the feedback network, and A beta is nothing but the loop gain. Okay, and when this loop gain becomes 1, what will happen? Your circuit will provide you oscillations. your circuit will provide you oscillations without any external input signal, because at A into beta, when it becomes equals to 1, 1 minus 1 becomes 0. 1 minus 1 becomes 0 means denominator part will become 0. So that means Vs is also denominator. So Vs will also equals to 0. So this condition actually we are utilizing in order to understand the working of your oscillators. है ना, अगर किसी ने पूछा कि क्यों नहीं चाहिए ऑसिलेटर को, then why oscillator does not have any input signal, so you must understand, you must mention this condition and you must understand this condition. Okay, I got some questions in the chat box. Okay. So again, you are asking about the notes, and I have already mentioned to you that the complete process will be like this, that whatever this PPT discussion we have, I will forward this PPT to you. You have to go through the PPT, you have to make your own notes, right? Then I will provide you notes, but after the completion of, means it will take some time. So it will not be just spoon feeding, मैंने notes दे दिया आप वहाँ से पढ़ाई करोगे और वैसा ही नहीं. So you have to first create your own notes, and then you will also have the notes given by me as well, right? Then you also have, I have also uploaded all the discussions of our these online sessions on YouTube also. I will upload it on Moodle also. So if you are having any difficulty, then you can ask me. So without having any difficulty, you are just asking for the notes. So that is not a correct way. And whatever we are discussing in the PPT, it is enough, I think, for you. So just go through the PPT, and if additional requirement material you require for the writing purpose or descriptive purpose, then there is, I've already given you the electronics book by V.K. Mehta, Principle of Electronics by V.K. Mehta. So just go through it. First 3 unit is already given there in whole depth. Okay. So question रहा, मैं notes कब provide करूँगा? So I will provide you notes after, let's say after the completion of syllabus, ऐसा मान के चलो, and don't be dependent on my notes. Okay, just start preparing your own notes. You have my PPT, you have our discussion videos, you have reference book also. All right, and this process must be same throughout your complete subjects also. Don't always be dependent on the notes provided by the faculties. It is not a good habit actually, because what happen actually, जब आप notes निकालते हो, then only you get to know so many things. आपके कंसेप्ट क्लियर होते हैं नोट्स निकालने के चक्कर में. तो रेडीमेड नोट्स अगर आपको मिल जाए तो आप फिर पढ़ते नहीं, आप फिर नोट्स निकालते, नोट्स पढ़ते डायरेक्टली जब 4-5 दिन बाकी रहते. ओके, एग्जाम के लिए. So that is not a correct way according to me. All right. So in any way notes मिल जाएंगे, don't worry about it. एग्जाम के पहले तो मिल ही जाएंगे notes, तब तक आप अपने नोट्स भी बना सकते. All right. So now we will proceed. This इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स सब्जेक्ट थोड़ा टीडियस हो सकता है समझने के लिए. जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस सब्जेक्ट माइट गेट डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, so you have to be more keen or more attentive throughout the lecture. The attendance is very poor, just 26 when 30 students are there, because most of the students को पहले EDC हार्ड जाता था, राइट. इसके पहले AD के पहले EDC वॉज देयर. सो आपको अटेंटिव रहना पड़ेगा, 2-3 बार पढ़ना पड़ेगा, देन आपको समझ में आएगा. और अगर कुछ डाउट है तो मैं हूँ ही. तो ऐसा कुछ हार्ड नहीं है, सिंपल ही है सब्जेक्ट, बस आपको पढ़ना पड़ेगा थोड़ा. वंस यू गॉट द कंसेप्ट you will be able to explain it. All right. So now there comes one very important criteria that is given by the scientist named as Barkhausen. And this Barkhausen criteria, there are two conditions in the Barkhausen criteria. So first one is magnitude condition and second one is phase condition. So now what is Barkhausen criteria? So basically Barkhausen नाम का एक scientist था, he has given the criteria. For what he has given the criteria? He has given the criteria that in order to, for any electronic circuit, in order to behave as an oscillator, it has to satisfy this particular criteria. So this criteria is very important, and by satisfying this criteria only, your circuit will produce sustained oscillations at the output. Okay. So oscillators work on the principle of positive feedback or regenerative feedback. That is, the fraction of output from amplifier is taken and added back to the input with proper magnitude and phase. I have already mentioned to you that what is the concept of positive feedback? Some amount of feedback, that is some fraction of output, is taken and it is added to the input. So this is called as positive feedback. Positive feedback is also called as regenerative feedback. Okay. So by doing so, output regenerates even though input is removed. By following this particular, if you give sustained, if you want sustained oscillations, then what is the requirement? You should follow this Barkhausen criteria. And input is not required actually. However, to make it happen, Barkhausen's criteria has to be satisfied. Okay, so first important thing is, what is the need of Barkhausen criteria? So Barkhausen criteria will tell you whether your circuit is behaving as an oscillator or not. अगर आपके सर्किट को ऑसिलेटर की तरह बिहेव करना है तो दैट सर्किट मस्ट सेटिस्फाई दिस टू कंडीशंस. और एक्चुअल में बार्कहाउसेन क्राइटेरिया क्या है? सो दीज टू कंडीशंस आर नथिंग बट अ बार्कहाउसेन क्राइटेरिया. Okay. So magnitude, so this is the first statement of our Barkhausen criteria. So in Barkhausen criteria there are two conditions. There are two conditions. First condition is about magnitude. So first condition is magnitude of overall gain. Magnitude of overall gain around the loop should be unity. This is the first. It is talking about the magnitude. So mod of A beta should be equal to 1. So mod is taken. What is the use of mod? It will give you always positive value. So the mod of A beta should be equal to 1. So this is the first condition in the Barkhausen criteria. A is nothing but the amplitude of, gain of amplifier, and beta is nothing but the attenuation provided by your feedback network. Okay. So this is very simple. First is about, it is telling about the magnitude. So magnitude of overall gain around the loop, that means loop gain. overall gain around the loop is nothing but a loop gain. So loop gain should be unity. That means mod of A beta should be 1. This is your first condition. In practical terms, it means that the product of the gain offered by amplifier, that is A, and attenuation offered by the feedback network, उनका product कैसे होना चाहिए? It should be unity. Note that the amplifier is an active network. I have already told you active and passive, right? जिसके पास खुद का gain रहता है, that is called as active network. जिसके पास gain नहीं रहता, that is passive. So the amplifier is an active network which offers some gain, whereas feedback network is normally passive resistance network which offers attenuation. All right. So in oscillators, in earlier slide I have mentioned just like in oscillators that there will be amplifier and feedback network. So amplifier will be termed as active network and feedback network is nothing but a passive resistive network. Now we will see, the more we will discuss about this, you will get to know more. Now then second condition is overall phase difference around the loop should be either 0 or the multiple of 360 degree. Overall phase shift around the loop should be either 0 or 360 degree. So this is the second condition. Second condition talks about the phase shift. So phase shift introduced by your circuit, मतलब जो circuit आप use कर रहे हो as an oscillator, so the phase shift offered by that circuit, it should be 0, either 0 degree, that means either no phase shift is there, or if any phase shift is there, that means then that phase shift should be multiple of 360 degree. So this is the second condition. So in Barkhausen criteria, there are two conditions. First condition talks about the magnitude, and it is also called as magnitude condition, and second is phase condition. So in magnitude condition, you have to remember this condition: mod of A beta should be equals to 1, where A is nothing but the gain of amplifier and beta is nothing but a fraction of feedback network. Their product should be equal to 1. This is magnitude condition. Second condition is overall phase shift should be either 0 or multiple of 360 degree. Okay. So just for now, just remember these two conditions. We will verify these two conditions when we discuss RC phase shift oscillator. That is our next topic. Okay. So just for now, remember like this, that Barkhausen criteria is important. By following or by satisfying Barkhausen criteria only, your circuit will give you sustained oscillations at the output. And what is Barkhausen criteria? There are two conditions in Barkhausen criteria. First condition is magnitude condition, second condition is phase condition. And your circuit needs to satisfy both conditions in order to produce the output oscillations or output waveform, sinusoidal waveform. Okay. So we will go into the more detail regarding this topic in the next session. Then again, very small concept is there actually. Just we will take a quick look. It is regarding the types of transistorized oscillators. So these are the classifications. So oscillators can be classified on the basis of components used in a circuit as RC oscillator. अगर आपके circuit में resistor capacitor used है, then that oscillators will called as RC oscillators. R stands for resistor, C stands for capacitor. It is also called as audio frequency oscillators because the frequency, output frequency of these oscillators fall in the audio range from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. This is our audio range. I hope you all must know it. Audio range of our human ear is 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. तो ये जो RC oscillators जो frequency produce करते हैं, उनकी frequency कितनी रहती है? आउटपुट frequency उन waves की ऑडियो रेंज में रहती है, so that's why RC oscillators are also called as audio frequency oscillators. Then second type is LC oscillators. So L stands for inductor and C stands for capacitors. Inductors and capacitors are used in this particular circuit, and the range of these particular oscillations, frequency of oscillations, are come under the radio frequency. So these are high range. Generally it is greater than 1 megahertz. Then third type is crystal oscillators. So crystal oscillator is in our syllabus. And LC oscillators are not in our syllabus. You should remember like this. Why I have mentioned this particular slide is, this is general classification. Okay, so any oscillator can be classified into either RC, LC and crystal. So crystal आपके syllabus में है, crystal oscillator. LC oscillator का एक भी circuit आपके syllabus में नहीं है. Whereas RC oscillator is again further classified into two circuits mainly. First one is RC phase shift oscillator and second one is Wien bridge oscillator. So Wien bridge oscillator is also not in your syllabus, but RC phase shift oscillator is in your syllabus. Okay, so we will see the concept of RC phase shift oscillator in the next session. Alright, so I will just make a quick preview, quick recap of what we have seen in today's lecture, and I will again review the whatever we have seen in this first session of our unit number 3 discussion in next lecture also. Okay. So don't miss the initial few minutes, because what general the flow of this lecture is like this. मैं क्या करता हूँ generally first 5 minutes I take a recap of what we have seen in the last session. So don't miss that first 5 minutes. Okay. So we have seen what are the topics in our unit number 3. Unit number 3 is also called as wave generators. So it can be, we can say that there are two sections: transistorized oscillators and timer IC555. So within these transistor oscillators there are 3 units, 3 topics, and within timer IC555 there are again 3 important topics. And we have seen what is oscillator. So oscillators are the electronic device or electronic circuit which is used to generate the output signal with constant amplitude and constant desired frequency. The interesting thing about oscillator is not having any input signal, external input signal. So oscillator, what will oscillator do? Oscillator will convert this DC power into AC oscillations at the output. Okay. Then few more points regarding oscillator, and this expression will tell you why there is no external input. Okay, because we are maintaining the condition that when A beta equals to 0, when A beta equals to 1. So what happens at A beta equal to 1? This denominator will become 0. Denominator is nothing but input signal. So that's why at this particular condition you does not require any input signal. So without any input signal you are getting oscillations at the output. And again, one important thing is there are two major blocks in your oscillator. There will be amplifier also, there will be feedback network also. The gain of amplifier is called as A, and the gain of feedback network will be beta, or the attenuation provided by feedback network is beta. So product of A into beta is nothing but a loop gain, because it is forming one loop. And again, the important thing is oscillators are positive feedback. Oscillators require positive feedback. You can observe it. That is, some portion of output is added to the input. It is called as positive feedback. And then we have discussed the Barkhausen criteria, which is very important if your circuit needs to satisfy the Barkhausen criteria in order to behave as an oscillator. or in order to produce the oscillations at the output. Okay. So in Barkhausen criteria, there are two conditions. First condition is of magnitude, that is mod of A beta should be equals to 1. This condition you need to satisfy. And then second condition is regarding phase shift. So total phase shift around the loop gain, around the loop, it should be either 0 or multiple of 360 degrees. Okay. So we will discuss more regarding this Barkhausen criteria in upcoming lectures. And these are the classification of your transistorized oscillators. There is RC, LC and crystal. And RC for the you don't have LC oscillators in your syllabus. RC is further classified into two types, RC phase shift oscillator and Wien bridge oscillator. Again, Wien bridge is not in your syllabus. RC phase shift oscillator is there and crystal oscillator is there. Alright, so that's it for the day. If you are having any questions, then you can ask me. Otherwise, we will conclude our session here. Thank you.